Hey everyone, I wanted to do a little bit of an update for the postpartum, what's going on with my shirt, and kind of where I'm at now, since Bella will be 3 months old on the 17th, which is crazy to even think about for me because I feel like I literally just found out I was pregnant with her. I think it's funny because like while you're pregnant, you feel like it's taking like 6 years to be pregnant. But then once they're here, you're like, oh my God, that was not that long. Both children are asleep right now. In fact, I'm gonna close the door. So we'll see if I can get through this video without one of them waking up. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about some things because once I posted my video about postpartum, I realized that for whatever reason, women feel like postpartum depression or anything like that is not okay to talk about. And I think there needs to be more awareness of anxiety and depression and things like that, especially for women, because I think as a woman and as a mother, you are expected and you put expectations for yourself to be perfect and for nothing to ever be wrong. What is going on? Hold on. Anyway, I think that you're put on this, like, you put yourself on this pedestal and you feel like if you have a problem of any kind, but especially something mental, that there's something wrong with you, or that, you know, you're not normal, or you're not a good mother, or you're not a good wife, or things like that. For those of you who don't know me personally, I've struggled with anxiety for as long as I can remember. When I was in school, it was mainly like test anxiety. I had like some crazy test anxiety. And when I was in college, for the short time I was in college, they really helped with that, and I could take my tests in my own special room in the time that I needed to, and it helped me relax and get through that. But as I got older, I realized a lot of my anxiety went away. Now, once I had Bo, I realized well, let me backtrack. When I was actually pregnant with Bo, my anxiety came back through hormones. So I believe my anxiety has a lot to do, and depression has a lot to do with my hormones. So when I was pregnant with him, I actually had to be on something, which you can be on something while you're pregnant. You need to ask your doctor and they can help you with whatever you need to do. And my doctor was wonderful and showed me things to do, but also something I could take and when to stop taking it, and things like that. So I was on the lowest dose of that medication, and through that pregnancy it really helped. And basically when I was 36 or 37 weeks, I stopped taking it. I believe it's around that you need to stop taking it. So when the baby's born, everything's fine. I had my son. I had no postpartum depression issues. But of course, my anxiety came back. And so I ended up back on the same medication, same dosage. I also had another medication for times that I would have panic attacks. Now, my panic attacks, I haven't really figured out what kind of triggers those. I think I kind of overanalyze things, and then it would turn into just like a full-on panic attack. That's the only thing I can think of, like back then, that would cause them, and like I rarely had them. I had one job that was my boss at the time was very stressful for me, and I'm pretty sensitive anyway. But that was the only time that I would use it. And like, honestly, I didn't touch that medication for, months. There would be like, I would go months and months and months without ever having to touch it. And then every now and again, I would need one and I would be okay. Now, I got pregnant with Bella. Well, let me backtrack again. I ended up having a miscarriage in December of 2014. That was one of the times that I realized I needed to get healthy, and I ended up finding a new doctor for my thyroid, and he actually did a lot of blood work. and found out that I had something called PCOS. Now, I'm not going to go into that. You can Google it if you want, or if you already have it, you know what it is. It's actually fairly common, but it does, I think we're good. It does cause miscarriages and a bunch of other things. So with that doctor, I was put on another medication for my PCOS, and I was losing weight. I felt better than I had in a long time. I had more energy. I had lost a good 20 pounds and then found out I was pregnant with Bella. Now, we weren't exactly preventing pregnancy, but we weren't planning it either. So she was also a surprise, but it was a great surprise because at that moment I kind of felt like, am I ever going to get pregnant again? After you have a miscarriage, you have a lot of crazy thoughts. And you're then the whole time, your first trimester, you're just worried that that's going to happen. But, I decided with my pregnancy with Bella that I wasn't going to take my anxiety medication. I wasn't working. I didn't feel like I was in a stressful environment. I didn't feel the need to be on something. I kind of regret that. I kind of don't. I don't know if that's what led up to where I'm at now. I'm not really sure. I'll probably never know. But I just decided that I wasn't going to do it. My pregnancy with her was fairly smooth. It was the most painful pregnancy I had with the two, just because how she was sitting. But other than that, it was fine. I had pretty high blood pressure the day that they decided to put me in the hospital to start inducing with her. But other than that, that was it. Once she was, you know, you can look at my other video about PPD and it goes into the entire birth story. But after I came home from the hospital with her is when my postpartum depression hit. Now, I'm not going to get into that again, but it was really bad. I finally got in with my doctor, got back on the same medication, same dosage. Now, here we are. So 3 months later, here we are, and the postpartum depression is definitely better. Much better, because that was a very scary and bad time. I still, to this day, have my moments that it's not good. And I kept realizing that that was getting worse. I was obviously back on a birth control. I've been on a birth control for a month now. And I think that has triggered more anxiety because, like I said, I really think my anxiety and depression come from hormones. And obviously birth control is a hormone. So, Bella may be joining us. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with her. I got my sweet princess. Hello. Alright, she'll probably fall asleep. Anyway. So, like I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying now. My anxiety comes from, you know, hormones, So, here we are today. I went to the doctor finally about my anxiety because it had gotten to the point where I felt like I was hard to live with. I felt like I wasn't being a good mother. I felt like I wasn't being a good wife. I kind of felt crazy. I felt like 1 second I was one person and the next second I was another person. So I felt like I needed to go see my primary doctor because I don't think I'd seen him in like 3 years, which is bad. I don't recommend that. And I just need to talk to him about some things, see if there's something I could do, some things I could change, Well, I found out that my anxiety is obviously on another level. And I wanted to share this because, one, I don't think women share it enough. I don't think people in general share it enough. And I don't think people realize that when you're suffering from severe depression or anxiety, you're not alone. Like, in those moments, you feel like you're completely alone, but you're not. And since I went through the postpartum, I think my hormones and things are just out of whack. I think I'm just different now and I need to be on something else. I'm not going to get into all my personal details about it, but I will say that I'm going to have to see a specialist now and kind of go from there to see what I can do. But I don't want you moms... Well, I don't want the mothers that have finally gotten help with postpartum to think that just because the one medication that you're on suddenly isn't working, that it's not right for you. I don't want you to give up and then stop taking the medication or stop seeing your doctor because there's like There's a lot of different ways to help yourself, and a lot of different things can happen after you have a baby. Your hormones are so out of whack for like 6 to 9 months that you can't just expect one magic thing to work and then you be fine. Between the no sleep, your hormones, the mood swings, the not eating correctly, I mean, there are so many things that, you know, can change your hormones, and that means a different medication, or that means you need to see a different doctor, or maybe there is something else wrong, and maybe you have anxiety now, or you have depression now that you've never had before, that doesn't make you crazy, that doesn't make you weird, that doesn't make you different, that makes you human. And I want people to understand that, like, it's okay to have these issues. Admit to yourself that you have these issues, and then go get help. Because if you don't, then you won't even be able to live your life. And that's when I knew I needed to go back to my doctor, because I felt like I wasn't able to live. I felt like I had everything that anyone could ever possibly want, and I wasn't able to enjoy that, and that's not fair to me. It's not fair to my husband, and it's not fair to my kids. And so, you know, to be the best at all of those things, you have to make yourself healthy. You actually have to put yourself first, and that's really hard when you're a mother. But if you don't, you end up where I'm at, and I'm like rock bottom, I feel like, with my weight, and I'm at like rock bottom, I feel like, with my anxiety. But this week I decided to make a change, and I'm going to see doctors, and I'm getting help. And I shouldn't, and you and I, no one should feel ashamed for that. And if you're around someone, or you're reading something that makes you feel ashamed for things that are happening to you, then you need to get away from those people, because you need to help yourself. You need to make yourself first in some things. Otherwise, you're never going to be who you want to be. I just wanted to share that, just because I actually had an overwhelming response, actually, after I posted my postpartum depression video, from a lot of girls, and I just had no idea people were embarrassed to talk about it, or scared to talk about it, or because it just gets such a bad rep, and I just think that's ridiculous. I think no one is perfect, and you need to help yourself the best way that you can. If that means taking medication, and if that means, you know, getting help from a doctor, then that's what it is. That's no big deal. Pick the pieces up of your life and move on. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I'm also going, if you follow my blog, you already know this, but I'm doing a weight loss journey, kind of, if I can ever remember to blog every Thursday. I blog every Thursday on Beauty Dog Baby. I think it's Beauty Dog, I'll put the link down below, but it's Beauty Dog Baby is the name of my blog. And every Thursday I try to do an update on my weight loss. And today I found out since my last post, I've actually lost 3 pounds. So something I'm doing is working, but I wanted to take it another step, and I'm going to a weight loss clinic here in town. So, and that's on Thursday, so I'll actually get to update that on my blog. It may be Friday by the time it actually gets up, or really late that night, I don't know. But that'll be another thing, because I'll actually end up going to see them weekly. And so I'll get to do things like that on my blog, and I'll update you with either a vlog. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a video, like diary of it, or, which may be good, because then I can actually see my progress instead of just typing it, or if I'm just going to just type it out on my blog and take pictures. I don't know, it may be a mixture of both. But anyway, please subscribe if you haven't already, and that way you can be notified when I do post things. And please follow my blog. That's a pretty random blog. It's pretty much whatever I want to write on there. I don't get to write as much as I originally wanted to, for obvious reasons, but I post my videos on there, and I'll post recipes on there that are semi-healthy, and just random things like that. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to email me. I would love to help. And of course my phone's ringing, so I'll wrap this up. But I will see y'all next time. Have a wonderful and blessed day.